This is the Stormy Willow podcast, a lighthearted, balanced examination of the paranormal.
Hello, Stormy Willow listeners. I'm your host, Sarah, here.
And Adele.
Hi, Dale.
Hi, and welcome to the Brood.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm a survivor of the week.
You are surviving. Yeah, it's been a bad week. It has been such a bad week, you guys. I hope you all have had a better week than we have. Adele's gotten rained on literally inside her house this week.
Yeah. I guess looking at last week's forecast, we were talking about our E words, and mine's definitely going to be reconstruction on our roof. I don't know. We'll go from there. We had a downpour of rain and hail, and then we had leaks, just like in several rooms.
Just awful. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely been a bad week. We had a loss in our family, our cousin. So that was horrible. And just, I have a lot of friends right now that just have these weird ailments and have been hospitalized and just random stuff, just weird. I don't know. It's just been a terrible week. So, ugh.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
But we also have some good news.
We do. Wait, is it somebody's birthday next week?
Well, not only that, but we have someone who's actually good at social media on our side.
We really do. This was some of the most amazing news. We are so excited to welcome a brood. Our friend Lexi. She is going to be taking over our marketing and social media, and we're so thrilled. We are very thrilled to have her, because we just don't have that algorithm. I don't know. We don't have it.
Nope, we don't got it, but we found someone who does. So be sure to show some love to her fun, engaging posts as they
exactly. Yes, for sure. We can't wait. We cannot wait. We're so excited to have her with us on this journey. So yeah, definitely you should see us a lot more now on social. So definitely interact and do all the things.
I'm looking forward to see I'm interacting with us even more too.
I know, me too. I was like, this is so exciting. So I'm loving it. So we were so excited. So yeah, that was I think one of the biggest bright spots of our week.
Yeah. All right. Well, we at least have some fun events to look forward to aside from my birthday.
I know. Is there anything else besides your birthday?
Hey, it would not hurt to celebrate with a horror convention.
We need to do that for your birthday one year. Let's go to a horror convention.
I'll just start doing that every year.
We should make that a thing.
Different city every year.
Yes. That way we could see something new, a new city, new horror convention, new friends. What?
That's the plan.
And we got do costumes every year, coordinate something fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm a little late on that this year though. So sorry.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We have to crawl before we run. So
you didn't.
You're supposed to. Anyway, I'm a Leo. I can skip steps.
Really, everyone else can't.
Exactly. So we have Horror Hound Weekend Indianapolis 2023. The entire weekend of August 18th through the 29th. Not 29th.
I was like, whoa. That is what I'm talking about.
It's over a week. No, it's right through the 20th. 18th through the 20th at the Indianapolis Convention Center. But wait, there's more. We also have Maryland Pop and HorrorCon 2023, the whole weekend as well, in Pikesville, Maryland. We then have New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival 2023, Also, the entire weekend, 18th through the 20th, in Edison, New Jersey. And last but not least, Deep South Paracomic-Con 2023. That will
Uh-oh.
be the 19th through the 20th, in Ozark, Alabama.
All
So,
right.
sure it's going to be haunted as heck down there.
Yeah. Yikes.
The Deep South and anything around the Ozarks, I assume it's just
Yeah. Sounds
haunted
like
or paranormal in some way. So
yeah,
that'll be
for
loads of fun.
sure. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. A lot of good stuff. I feel like, the season is here, you guys. Like it's pretty much here.
Oh
It's
yeah,
here.
spooky season is on.
I'm so excited. Love it. Well, you want to see what your birthday week astrological forecast looks like?
Not really, especially not for this week.
Well, so you just want to skip this?
Um,
That's
let's
what you're
just
saying.
yeah, let's just sleep through next week.
I'll just tell you if it was right or not, but this is what it said. This is what happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's what we'll do then. You want to tell us your story?
No, no, I don't.
All right. So this week's forecast comes from our friends, the Astro Twins, mindbodygreen.com. So let's talk about August. So we kicked off August with a full moon. And guess what? We end August with a full moon. So it's just a nice little bookend for a month packed full of fun, I
It's
guess
it.
you could say. So here's a fun fact for you. So whenever you have two full moons in a calendar month, you know what it's called?
A total.
Blue
Okay.
moon. You saw me standing alone. That's why I think they say it happens once in every blue moon. So anytime you have two full moons, one calendar month, it's a blue moon. Remember that for trivia.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not going to
So
remember.
unfortunately, having one full moon brings about a lot of craziness. But when you have two, that can really impact your mood and bring waves of change. And get this, Adele, some surprising events like your roof leaking.
No,
Not cool.
I don't want to.
So mid-August, so that's next week already, if you can believe it. We've got mid-August coming in with the cosmic bad bitch Lilith is going to ride in with the Leo new moon, and we're going to talk about Lilith in just a moment. But Lilith will be dialing up some drama for us next week. So
Oh, these poor kids. It's back to school.
back to
They don't
school,
even have a minute.
not even a minute.
You know Lilith is feasting on high school gossip and drama.
Man, well, here's the challenge for next week. Are you going to be able to keep calm and keep your emotions in check? That is the question. So it's very important to try to stay cool in this mid-August heat. And it's going to definitely take some spiritual willpower and discipline and a ton of emotional support. So reach out. Another thing you can do is to really get into nature, maybe do a digital detox. Like maybe you just don't need that Facebook stuff in your life. Lexi, we will even make that exception for you next week if you need it. If you need the detox.
Go for it.
But let's circle back to Lilith for a second. Lilith in the sky. So Lilith is like the point along the moon's orbitable path. So basically, it's the farthest that you can get from Earth. So if you think of a supermoon, right? A supermoon is huge and it's the closest the moon can get to the Earth. Lilith is on the dark side of the moon, if you will. And it's not, she's actually not a cosmo, and she's not really made up of any matter at all. She's just kind of the state of being, if you will, the dark side of the moon. And so if you didn't realize this, sometimes you'll hear it called you like if somebody ever like pulls your astrological chart, apparently she is a point in your chart that basically demonstrates being provocative and powerful. So if she comes up in that, that's what that means.
I don't think I've ever heard her come
I've
up in somebody's chart.
never heard her come up in someone's chart. So, but apparently she's in all of our charts, and the way that she moves, it's quite different. So yeah, so I never heard of Lilith. I mean, of course, I just recite our astrology here from the Astro Twins because they're amazing. So I don't really understand how that works, but it's really cool. But she's still out there on the dark side of the moon. So just think about that, my friends.
She's still cool.
Lilith is
Dark
so
side of the
cool.
fucking moon.
She's
That's
amazing.
cool. That's cool.
Lilith's a badass.
All right, Lilith, we love you.
We do love you. So just remember that next week, Lilith.
Yeah.
We're fangirls. Be good to us.
Yeah, we're your friends. We're on your dark side.
That's right. That's right. I'm seeing like a t-shirt design.
You can totally sit with us.
You could totally Lilith right here. I saved you a seat. For sure. For sure. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna just keep on trucking through the month until we get to that bookend, which will be another full moon. Woohoo!
Wow, wonder what I'm in store for next week.
I don't know.
And Mom will be visiting.
Mom will be visiting. Well, that'll make things better.
Yeah, at least
Mommy will be there, so that'll be nice.
Get me some cookies or something.
Oh, she will. She's been baking up a storm. Let me tell you.
I want some.
I've been eating. Cookies. She made some. She made us a pumpkin roll already, and it was so delicious.
It's never too soon, but I'm waiting for pumpkin.
Listen,
spice.
When your mom shows up at your house with a pumpkin roll, you do not question. You're
That's
like,
true.
Thank you so much, Mommy. It's
good.
Good stuff. All right, Adele, you gonna tell me a story?
Sure.
Yes.
If
that little kitty cat blanket.
Well, it's not going to be a spooky story.
Oh.
Well. I'll try to make it not as boring as it could be, though.
Okay. That sounds good. I've been up since 4 a.m., so that'd be great. I didn't get a nap, so.
Okay, so I'll play some really soft music and talk really slow.
Okay.
This will be an episode for naps.
My gosh, that's what our podcast turns into. It's one of those like, listen to this story while you're falling asleep.
Hey, if that's what our listeners want.
I don't think there's anything about this voice that is soothing to anyone except for maybe somebody that plays a banjo or something. I don't know.
That's why we have to throw in weird voices and sound effects ever so often, keep listeners on their toes. Am I back?
Your video? No, you're there. We go. You're like this, but you're still talking. It was great. It was really great.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like,
I have no idea what I was saying.
Well, it's funny. It was like, a Robert the Doll moment or something. It's like, your face isn't moving, but you're talking to me.
And then I just appear behind you.
Yeah. Oh God. Sorry, Robert.
You shouldn't even speak his name.
Well, I said I'm sorry, and I'm talking about him in a good way. Like, he's fun.
Robert did it.
He's a fun fella.
Ugh.
Okay.
Well,
anyway,
speaking of fun fellas.
Oh yes. What?
The entity I chose for this week are the Elementals.
Interesting, Smithers.
Yes. So before we get into what on earth elementals are, let me cite my sources. atlasmythica.com, wikipedia.org, newworldencyclopedia.org, study.com, and occultopedia.com.
Cultopedia, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a fan. All right. Do you have any idea what elementals are? Have you ever
Listen, I'm gonna tell you
come across one?
Let me tell you what's coming to my mind. I'm seeing Captain Planet. I'm seeing Earth, wind, fire, water. When all our powers combine, we are the Elementals.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the end of the episode.
Really? That summed it up?
Yeah, thanks. We're done.
gosh.
Yeah, essentially, yes. So to understand what elementals are, you first, I think, need to understand the elements that they come from.
It's
So,
elementary, my dear.
hey,
Heyo.
that was almost funny. Um,
Well, yeah.
so there was a Greek scientist in 5th century BC.
Okay. Can't even wrap
So
around my head around that time period, but okay, yeah.
a while ago. Um,
After the dinosaurs. Okay.
after the dinosaurs were planted by the government. I'm just kidding. I don't believe that, and I'm not spreading theories
Easy now.
or
You know how
conspiracies.
rumors spread.
Just not fun ones though. We've been
No.
trying for years to spread this rumor that Taylor Swift has like a rare eye disease, like, and she has to like put drops in her eyes a lot. Just because it sounds like so stupid, it's believable, right? Like, oh man, she has to like constantly put drops in her eyes. Nobody spread that.
It's really that would taste perfect. It's an interesting rumor.
I don't know. Maybe now that it's on the show.
Heard it here first, folks.
Anyway, so okay, so first we have to understand the elements. So a Greek scientist from the 5th century BC named Empedocles theorized that all matter is made from 4 elements:
Okay.
fire, water, air, and earth. Kind of
Okay.
like the Planeteers.
Yeah, the Planeteers.
But the Planeteers also have heart.
Yeah, they do. That's true. I knew we were
Not
missing
sure.
something.
Maybe they're more new age.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So the idea is that everything, like every single thing, is made from combinations of these 4 fundamental elements.
Okay.
And what is shocking to me, as I mentioned, that was 5th century BC. Most great minds throughout time were perfectly fine and agreed with this notion until the 17th century. So that's the 1600s.
Wow.
So literally 400 BC to 1600 is 2000 years
And nothing's ever
of this being just kind of,
that's just what it is. We're not going to expand on it.
yeah, this being kind of just the fundamental principle of science, I guess.
Years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So
That
it's
is really
literally
weird.
it's literally from like the peak of classical Greek civilization to the Renaissance in Europe.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Like that is so much time.
Challenge that, or expanded on it, or thought about it.
Yeah, like in 1608, Quebec City was founded in what was called New France, present day Canada. Like
Weird.
people, that was Canada. Like from the ancient Greeks to that. And this fundamental idea of 4 elements is the building blocks of everything. It's crazy.
Yikes. But you wonder why.
Right? It's fascinating.
Is it that no one could talk about it without consequences or something, perhaps? To keep the lid on that
I don't
job?
know.
Or just everybody just like,
sure, makes sense.
Okay,
it really seems to me that most of the people are like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they didn't think about like atoms and stuff yet.
That's true. But still, yeah. Okay.
But isn't that crazy how rapidly?
Not to think about that too much, but that's weird. That's
I mean, I guess I say that just to summarize, like from just in the 19th, like in 20th century, like look at just like the 1800s from like steam to Wi-Fi now.
Right.
Like how quickly that happened.
Yeah.
Like we're talking 2000 years. It's just amazing how rapidly things are changing now.
Yeah. I like the Renaissance era.
Yeah. I like all the times with like a lot of great philosophers.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, yeah, just to put that in perspective.
Got it.
So most ancient civilizations believe that everything in nature has a spirit kind of within it, even like
Okay.
trees and things like that.
Yeah.
So elementals, to simply put it, they are the four types of elements in like a spirit carnation
Okay.
or spirit form.
Got it.
So while they seem loosely mentioned in works of the occult and alchemy, like that predates what we mainly know about them today, Paracelsus
Hmm.
is kind of the person who made them. I would say one popular and two kind of gave them more form and definition around like what elementals actually are.
Gotcha. Okay.
Before him, they were just kind of like loosely mentioned, but he kind of like
Right.
detailed them a bit more.
Okay.
So Paracelsus.
What a name, Perry.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Perry. Born Theophrastus von Hohenheim. Uh,
Okay. All right, Rose. Sounds like
yeah.
we're in St. Olaf. Let me get a slice of cheesecake before telling you the story.
We have to go to the Theophrastus von Hohenheim festival in St. Olaf.
Definitely a Rose Nyland name or
Oh yeah,
ancestor.
absolutely. So we're gonna call him Perry. Make it easy.
Yes, please.
So he was a 16th century alchemist, physician, philosopher, and diviner. So
So like an overachiever.
yeah, like pretty
Okay.
much everything under the sun that's kind of fun,
Wow.
you
That's
know?
awesome.
I mean, yeah, just a man of the world, metaphysical and physical.
No kidding.
He is the father of toxicology,
Okay.
so obviously not a dummy or charlatan. I feel like whenever you see diviner like at the end, people are
Yeah,
like, "Is he a
because
kook?"
yeah, I get it. I get it. It's the Harry Houdini in you.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's, I don't know, he's like half and half. Physician, philosopher, then you're like, alchemist, diviner. You
You're like,
know,
what?
what? I don't know about you. But anyway, he was also an author of a book called A Book on Nymphs, Sylphs, Pygmies, and Salamanders, and on the Other Spirits, where this is where we kind of get more of that detail around the
Okay.
elementals.
Gotcha.
So he was very deeply religious too, and that really influenced his approach to science. Like, he believed science and religion are like completely one and the same.
Okay.
Like they're inseparable. And that scientific discovery is kind of like messages being sent from God that we're finding. So he
Gotcha.
believed it was, quote, mankind's divine duty to uncover and understand all of his message, meaning God.
Okay.
Yeah, so sounds kind of hippy dippy
It does.
Christian.
I love it. I mean, I'm digging it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of picking up his vibes,
Yeah, I like what I like. I'm picking up what Perry's putting down.
right? All right, so let's talk about the elementals. That's what this is all about. So they're kind of between human and spirit. They're
Okay.
actual tangible beings.
Kind of like the genies.
Yeah, I think so.
The yeah.
I don't think they're necessarily I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong if somebody knows, but unlike genies, I don't think they answer to anybody. Because
Okay.
they also don't have souls. So once they're done, they're done.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly. I mean, anyway, it's just a theory out there. But anyway, they're like genies, they're tangible beings. They eat, sleep, reproduce, have families,
Gotcha.
die. They're not immortal. So, yeah, I would say kind of like flesh and blood beings.
Gotcha.
And then as we were talking about like the four elements, right? So that was earth, water, air, fire. Well, we have a respective elemental, which is kind of like the spirit personification of that element.
Gotcha.
So for earth, we have gnomes. For water, we have undines.
So it's kind of like a mermaid.
Mm-hmm. For air, we have sylphs.
Got it.
They're kind of like fairies.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call them fairies because I can't like still.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, we're talking about like it's probably like rooted in Latin and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm like still.
And then fire is represented by salamanders.
That's weak. Why?
Yeah.
Salamander. I think it should be a dragon. Like
in the drawings, I think they look more dragon-like, but they're still very
salamander.
small. So
Like,
I don't know.
okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever. That wasn't my. Sorry, Perry. I was
Just a critique.
Yeah,
Salamander.
It's fine. It's fine.
Like
Cool.
not a glowworm or something.
That would be pretty cool.
Or I don't know.
Salamander. Okay.
Like I don't know. I don't know. Salamander.
Whatever.
It's fire.
Whatever you want, Perry.
It's
your
fire.
work.
Why? I'm just kidding. It's not. Okay, so each of these beings kind of reside in its own respective element. So, for example, now humans, we're made of multiple elements.
Right.
And a lot of other beings are, but those are not elementals. Elementals are made of that singular element.
That's it.
But for instance, like humans more so reside in the air space because we like when we walk around, it's kind of just walking through the air.
Right.
I know it's kind of loosey goosey and feels a little bit forced, but anyway, that's kind of the notion.
Oh yeah, I can get behind that.
We exist more in the air. We don't exist in the water. Like we don't walk around underwater.
Yeah.
But with the elementals, it's almost as if they're like, well, they are one with the element, right? So if it's like the gnome who's earth, they can walk through other earth objects like mountains,
like a tree or
boulders. Yeah, like they can walk through those natural earth elements.
Earthy things, yeah.
Yeah, because it's almost like it doesn't exist to them, but they all exist together. If it makes it's almost like an extension of them.
Oh yeah. No,
you know what I mean? Because it is that element.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, that applies to all the types. They can all do that, I think. Yeah, they can even see through those elements, kind of like I was saying, how they can walk through them. So like they could even see like sunlight through them.
Oh wow.
It's almost like it doesn't exist to them, but at the same time, I think it's just because it's an extension of them. So I don't know. Some of this was kind of hard for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah, I get it. It's a little out there.
So let's talk about each of these elementals on their own.
Let's do it.
So each elemental has its own unique culture and like society. And like I said, it doesn't seem that they have souls, at least not according to like this main theory of elementals.
Okay.
So they might live a long time, but once they're done, they're done.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about gnomes. I was waiting for you.
I'm just thinking of little David the gnome. That show when you were little.
Okay. So not quite like David the gnome.
Okay.
So gnomes originally seem to come from like an oral Northern European like lore.
Yeah, I see that. Like eating a bowl of porridge and like listening about gnomes.
Yeah, telling stories about gnomes.
Yeah.
So
almost.
Yeah, and actually it even says that they're very similar to Norse dwarves. And perhaps even these were kind of like one and the same at one point, and then now they're kind of evolved into two different beings. Yeah, they also do remind me a lot of leprechauns, at least the modern day gnome.
Right. The modern day gnome.
The modern day gnome.
Oh, excuse me. You're so old gnome school.
Yeah, the OG gnomes actually were more goblin-like. Okay.
Okay.
And only about a foot and a half tall, so really small.
Yeah.
But it's almost like they have the power to kind of inflate, so like they can like instantly become bigger. But I don't know if they become necessarily like dinosaur big or just like kind of like puff up like a puffer fish or something.
Like they become
I don't know.
like a smaller human.
I mean, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but they're also not friendly to humans, so just don't go near
Oh,
them.
okay. I'll just leave it alone.
Just if you see a gnome, leave it alone.
Okay.
That's
What's
the
the word
thing. See a gnome, leave it alone. Okay.
I mean, where would I even find one of those? Like trying to walk through a tree?
Yeah, like or in your garden
Okay.
if you have a garden.
Listen here, Nomi.
Hey, but according to Perry, these are the most important of the elementals.
The gnomes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I guess because they have everything to do with Earth. And I think
Okay.
some of the ideas are like if they're around, like they're good for your garden and like they can
Okay.
help you with
Well,
like
they're probably
natural
pretty
goals.
pissed off right now.
We probably killed them all. They're probably extinct. So you're welcome.
Probably.
Poor gnomes. Do you want to hear a bit more about like the different types of gnomes? Because they're a little bit different depending on
Sure. I
the
mean, if we're
region
gonna
of
talk about
origin.
gnomes, let's do it.
Let's
When in gnome.
go. Well, let's talk about Scandinavia. Okay, so
Let's do it.
that's Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Um,
Sweden.
so according to the Scandinavian kind of gnome, they live for around 400 years, so
Okay.
pretty good run.
Yeah.
And they really value family. And they only give birth once, and it's usually to twins.
Well, there you go. Bada bing, bada bang. Done and done.
Yeah, that was kind of specifics about Scandinavian
How do we
gnomes.
know so much about these things? Like
How do
someone like
I
someone,
know?
I don't know, like how
Oh,
like how has this come to be? Like,
well, it definitely sounds like these are like ancient. So I mean, we're talking about like ancient Greece, and we're even talking about back to like Norse mythology. So I think the notion is as people over time pass along oral traditions and travel, right? They all kind of intermingle with other stories.
yeah, I mean, was like, what? Like, they know a lot about the reproduction of gnomes. Like,
Yeah, like I don't know.
okay, I don't know. All
I
right,
don't know why
we'll go
it's
with
that
it.
specific.
I'm not gonna ask any questions. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, Germany, I think might. I would say these are more goblin-like in Germany. They're
Okay.
even featured in the Brothers Grimm fairy tales.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm familiar.
These in German lore, they're more like a gangly old man kind of
Yeah.
look, and they're
More
usually guarding
sloppy.
a treasure.
Yeah, so there's more of the leprechaun element.
And like the goblins, it makes me think of like the goblins in Harry Potter that work at the bank,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Gringotts, isn't that
I'm
the
seeing
name?
that. Yes.
Yeah. So, and actually, Germany was the first producer of garden gnomes in the mid 1800s, by
Yeah.
Philip Grabel. Um, so he created those just because well, one, he was already making, I think terracotta, some sort of like lawn decorations anyway.
Right.
And then he just thought this was a cute way to enjoy the lore of the gnomes.
It is really cute. It's really popular right now too.
Yeah, like he just thought it was like a cool way to tie in the lore of Germany about the gnomes
It's
and how
really
they,
neat.
can help you in your garden at night. And then we have the Netherlands. So these are more like I would say more like the seven dwarves. They're like
Okay.
tiny subterranean men. Sometimes they're even like more so house spirits.
Okay.
Uh, they have long, full beards and they're kind of shy of people.
Me too.
And they wear tall, pointed red hats usually.
Okay.
So it kind of makes me think of more of like the seven dwarves. And that's kind of it for the different main variations of these gnomes. So that's a gnome.
Nice. That's enough for you.
Next we have the Undine, which are kind of, I would say like mermaids.
Yeah, very cool.
Um, I'm I don't know if they always are, but they are almost always depicted as female. So I don't know if there
Yes.
are any males or not. I don't know. I don't know. But they are human sized and kind of appear more human like.
Right.
They live in the water, so they are the water spirit, element. Um, they have lovely voices, so it kind of ties into like sirens as well, right? Um,
Yeah.
they are very friendly with humans. They probably, out of all four of the elementals, have the most in common with humans.
Okay.
And they can and do even sometimes marry humans.
Like Ariel.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and they seem to be the only elemental that does that. And some humans have even entered the Undine communities. So it's not necessarily like her coming to live on the land. I don't know how they do that.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm not even gonna ask. Okay.
I have no idea. But supposedly, maybe you could go to her community.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, and they're actually pretty particular about like the people they'll befriend. So I just said they don't like buttheads because these kinds of people sound like buttheads to me. So they are kind of off put by arrogant, dogmatic, drunk, and argumentative people, and so am I. So
100%.
but they do seem to like chill people. So they like people who are just like very natural and straightforward, honest, and innocent.
Me too.
So yeah, I think
I could
we
hang out
could
with Mermaid. We'd be friends.
we
It's
could be
fine.
friends. I would definitely be friends with Mermaid, but I would not marry one, and I will tell you why in a moment. So okay, so they can and sometimes do marry humans. So if they do have a child together, the baby is human because
Okay.
the baby gets a soul from the father. And not only does he give the baby a soul, he gives the Undine a soul as well. So he gives both of them a soul. Isn't that so like
Okay.
patriarchal and just stupid? Anyway,
Uh, yeah,
um,
yeah.
and
Thoughtless.
I quote Perry as he says, as an Undine who isn't joined to a man dies like an animal, so will a man who isn't united to God. So
Oh,
he's kind of
Perry.
taking it to a shitty place and losing his chill vibe.
Perry, I thought we were cool, man.
Yeah.
Not cool.
So it's kind of fun. Like at first, I think like Perry's like the hippie like scholar or something, and then the more he's just more like a religious fanatic trying to dabble in science. Is almost how it seems to me. So I'm sorry not to knock any of his serious work, but especially with like I don't know, I almost feel like this is a grasp for him to tie science and religion together.
Yeah, like I kind of like it's one of those like what is it? Women like cling to your husbands for he's the head of the household. Like it feels very much
Right.
like what
It's like this
he's saying.
isn't even like a human, and you're
Like
telling it that it
I
will
don't
just die like an animal if it doesn't have a man.
yeah, I don't like that. Okay.
Ew.
Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever, Barry.
So Perry's a booger and a butthead, and the Udine would not marry him, and he's
100%.
butthurt about it.
But Perry, just because I want to go out with you doesn't mean you have to make this stuff up.
Yeah, why you gotta
Why you gotta be like that, Perry? God.
fucking
Stop being
Perry?
a cool person instead of you.
Yeah. Also, according to Perry, do not piss her off. Okay. So if you marry her, do not piss her off.
Well, I
Don't
mean, okay.
don't piss her off near the water because she might just jump in the water and leave.
I'm out of here.
Like, boop,
Got my
I,
fins and I'm leaving.
getting back in my element. Get it in your element.
I see like a free willy situation.
Yes, except she's the water.
Like, oh, especially like if it was a mutual breakup or something.
Dude,
The guy's like, "What's over?" She jumps in the water, and he's like, "Yeah,
yeah.
yeah."
We were watching Free Willy last night.
Oh, that movie. You remember when we did the Save the Whale Foundation?
Well, yes, I do. But the best part though about this is like the little lady from Tank Girl. I always forget the
Yeah.
actress's name. She's in it. She's like the whale trainer.
Oh God. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
she's like the other main person working with the
that's
whale.
so funny.
But Amanda's been trying to write her next lesbian romance novel, and I was like, you have to make one a whale trainer. And she didn't realize like the movie was coming on. And I was like, it would be just like this lady.
Yes, she totally should. Oh,
I was
Free
like, it
Willy.
doesn't get much gayer than that.
I have to agree. Free
Oh, but
Willy.
she would have to be a dolphin trainer though. That would
Yeah.
make it that much gayer.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yes.
you're welcome.
That movie, that was one of the first pieces of a film that touched me. Like we would crank up, we got the soundtrack and we would crank up that song and just we would knock on the door and try to collect money for whales, and we weren't even a part of a whale foundation. But I remember you'd be like the bushes. I'd be like, now, and you would start playing the music. I'd be like, do you know this many whales die a year? You have any extra change? Please help us. Help us save the whales.
Did anybody ever even give us money?
Yeah, and then I think like Janet or somebody blew the whistle. One of the neighborhood moms blew the whistle. They were like, "You're not even part of the Well Foundation, kids. Like, stop. You cannot be knocking on doors." I mean, it was annoying. I mean, it was very annoying. If I were an adult, I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here." Like, I get it. I get it. But at
Yeah.
the time, we're just trying to save the whales, one cul-de-sac at a time.
Yeah, we were very obnoxious.
We really were. Like, someone had to blow the whistle. Someone really had to. It's a
Mhm.
lot out of control.
So everybody started putting up privacy fences.
No trespassing.
Stop playing in
It's
my
you in
yard
your boom box.
midnight.
Yeah. Like, do you hear free will? Like, imagine like not I'm an adult. I can't imagine working all day. I've seen it in a different perspective now. Like, I'm working all day. I get home. I give myself a drink, and I hear, ooh, but there's goddamn kids again.
Oh, isn't it technically like dark hours?
They awful.
Let me go get the phone book. What's their parents' number?
These kids again, because we wouldn't stop either. So someone came to the door, was like, open the door, save the whales, go around back, Corey. Well, yeah, this poor. I'm so sorry, neighbors. Shamrock Court. I apologize.
I don't know. Honestly,
Never fun.
if I had that happen to me as an adult, I think I would laugh.
Yeah, I don't
I'd
know.
probably give them $1 or two.
Well, we were creative. I mean, the
I feel
soundtrack,
like
the big box.
that was just so entertaining. You've earned this $2.
Go get yourself something nice.
Thank you. Thank you for that. You can go get one bottle of water.
Yeah, you can't get that now. It's like, what? You just give me a 20? That doesn't get shit.
Like that's the price you pay.
All right, sorry, we digress. You started talking about whales, and sorry, I'm Free Willy.
Yeah, just
get my shit together.
Speaking about water elements, so yeah, if you piss an Undine off and she's near water, she'll probably just jump in the water and just leave and like go back home to her element.
And you get to keep the kid, so you get to be like a single dad.
I guess so. I don't know.
What happened to Edward's mom? Oh, she jumped back in the sea. Hadn't seen her since. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I'm with you.
Okay. Also, if she does leave you, do not get remarried because apparently it is not over until she says it's over, and she will kill you.
Oh, like,
or sorry, it says you will die. I'm assuming
like if she
kill you.
If she has fins, how is she gonna find you?
Well, I mean, she's not really a mermaid. That just might be like a way she appears. She doesn't have to.
Oh,
Well, I don't really understand how that works since it was very clear
doesn't
about the
water her element?
elementals have
Yeah,
to stay in their element. I don't know. I don't know.
interesting. There are a lot of holes in these theories for me.
There's a lot of
Sorry.
loopholes for such a scientific theory that was around for 2,000
Yeah,
years.
there's a lot. I have a lot of questions, Adele. Okay,
We'll
continue.
take them straight to God.
Well, I will. I will.
All right, I'm going to really quickly fly through these other two because honestly, they just aren't as interesting and there's not a lot
You
about
mean a
them.
salamander?
Yeah, so we have the sylph, which is kind of like a fairy.
Okay.
Um, they're mostly invisible to humans. They're like the air, so they're very ethereal. Like they might appear as like clouds or rays of light.
Okay.
They're friendly to humans. They are very cautious of the other elementals though, because they can be so easily consumed by them if they come into contact with them. Because it's air, it could, I guess, drown. I don't know. It's very sensitive to the other elementals, so it has to be careful. It's the most delicate, I guess. And then yeah, last for fire we have salamander. Uh, and they just don't really engage with humans. They like to maintain a distance. Like you kind of keep your distance, we'll keep our distance.
Yeah.
Yes, they are supposed to be lizard-like.
Yeah.
They're
That's
about a
what I
foot.
think about really.
Yeah, they're like a foot long. So they're pretty small.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a big lizard, a foot.
Yeah, I would think so.
Um,
Considering
and,
the lizards we get around here aren't that big.
yeah, they kind of like glow, like
Yeah.
fire. That's about it.
Yeah.
Very underwhelming.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah,
Dragon.
they're no Undine. You know that's probably some Southern lady's name.
Undine.
Undine.
You know it.
I know it is.
They're probably related to us somehow.
Hey,
Hey, Undine.
did you hear about Undine? She's in the hospital again.
Oh,
They had to take her
Undine.
big toe this time.
Except for it would be Undine. That's what it would be here.
Undine.
Undine, can you hear me? Put your hearing aids in.
Do what?
Undine. That's great. Yeah, if you know someone named Undine, please let us know because I know you're out there.
Yeah.
And it's a friend request.
Let us know if they're majestic like mermaids. I have a feeling they're probably not.
I have a feeling they are an entity, but not an elemental. Maybe that should be the fire.
There you go.
The person named Undine.
Yeah. Undine. No, she has a cigarette hanging out of her mouth.
I'm just saying, I would not fuck with somebody named Undine.
No.
You're gonna get hit with a floss water.
You'll get whooped.
You'll get whooped with a floss water.
You get your ass whooped. Whooped. Okay. And now let's bring this all back to a really fun part. Witchcraft and magic.
What? Okay.
So elementals are kind of central to witchcraft and magic, actually.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I think because of like the alchemy, I don't know, but quote, elemental beings have been a part of witchcraft and magic for centuries. In many traditions, they are seen as powerful forces that can be called upon to help achieve goals or manifest change. They can also be linked to other natural phenomena, such as the seasons or the phases of the moon. Elemental beings are thought to possess their own unique powers and energies. In some traditions, they are venerated as deities in their own right. In others, they are seen as helpful spirits that can be called upon for assistance. Whether they are viewed as friends or foes, elementals have always played a central role in witchcraft and magic, according to naturallymodernlife.com.
Okay, well.
So, okay. So in witchcraft, you can call the elements.
Okay. It's like, yeah. But isn't that like calling the corners?
Ding, ding, ding. That's exactly what they're doing, calling the corners. So calling the elements, aka calling the quarters, is when a practitioner calls upon the four elements: earth, air, fire, water.
Got
Um,
it.
so whenever you call the guardian of the watchtowers, a watchtower or guardian in ceremonial magic is the protector spirit of the four cardinal directions. So east, south,
Okay.
west, or north. But depending on like what philosophy you're following, sometimes those four things can be different. So sometimes it's east, south, west, and north. In Enochian like angels, sometimes it represents like the archangels, like Uriel, Raphael, Michael,
Okay.
Gabriel. And then
For a second,
sometimes
I thought you were talking about the Ninja Turtles. I'm like,
it's
whoa.
cheese pizza. Yes. Ooh, I'm gonna have pizza tonight because it's our Friday Sprouts pizza. Anyway, or sometimes it's the four classical elements: earth, air, fire, water. So I think, yeah, this is really like tying in to what the craft
Got
I
it.
think is referencing.
See, that's where I knew. That's where I knew.
So
I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think I remember seeing a gnome in the craft, but
you
okay.
remember they say like hell to the guardians of the watchtower of the north. They do
Yes.
the cardinal directions, but if
Yeah.
you look at it as the classical elements, the gnomes who represent earth are north, water is west, air is east, fire is south. Um,
Okay.
so the
I'm just seeing
watch,
all these little creatures combined. It's like gnomes, like,
yeah, I'm picturing like all, it's almost like the
right.
Game of Thrones map with all these little creatures.
Yeah, and they're just all like, let's go.
Yeah, it makes me think of like the
Oh,
ghoulies. Remember that? Maybe the ghoulies.
please.
It's like,
No,
oh, it's from like 1980. Like,
I don't remember the ghoulies.
oh, really? He like summons these little creatures,
Wait,
and
yes,
they
this sounds
like come out of
familiar.
like this bubbly water, and they're like,
Yes,
like these little tiny like animatronic and puppet creatures.
yes, I know
I'm
what you're
like
talking
gross looking.
about. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, that's what it makes me think of, a bunch of little
yeah.
ghoulies like all over a map. Um, so and kind of tying back to the craft and witchcraft, the watchtowers are invoked during the ritual of casting a magic circle. So in many modern esoteric or Wiccan practices. So
Gotcha.
whenever you
Okay,
invoke a circle, I mean, sorry, whenever you cast a magic circle, you might invoke these elementals
makes sense.
for
Okay.
protection. And that's it really in a nutshell of elementals. Um, and it was a wild ride.
Very wild ride. There's this house that's not too far from me. I run by it a lot, and it's really cool. Like it it definitely has like a witchy vibe, but it's so neat because they have like a gnome and they have a mermaid, and they always have like Halloween type stuff in their yard all year round, and it's really cool like that. So
That's
I
cool.
bet
I wonder if
they're,
they're Wiccan.
I don't know, like I've never been able to see them outside just to be like, I just love all your things. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool, like the way they have it. It's like very, very cool. But now I know they have like at least two of the elements. I'm sure there's more. I'm gonna look
Yeah. See if you
run
can
by
find
again and be
more.
like, do you have a salamander?
Oh
I know
yeah.
they have a dragon.
Yeah,
Like
I
maybe
really,
there's,
to me, like if you Google
and
like,
they have a fairy, so they do have the four elements.
okay, yeah, so maybe they're
Yes,
Wiccan.
they do. I need to talk to them. They just seem like they'd be very cool. Their house is
Yeah,
really cool.
that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think if you like Google images of like Renaissance salamanders, there's just something a little bit more dragon-like to them, even though it's still
Yeah, maybe
a
that's what they
salamander,
mean instead of like the little. So I'm just thinking like of a lizard, and I'm
like a
like,
little, cute little lizard. Yeah, I don't know.
oh,
But
very
now you know what
cool.
elementals are and how to, well, that they can be involved in calling the corners.
Yeah, I did not know that.
So yeah,
Very interesting, Adele. You've been picking some really like off out there cool entities.
well, entities I think are a little bit out there.
They
So,
are, but I'm just saying, like, it's like you picked some cool ones.
well, thank you.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well,
Very
Brood, I hope you enjoyed
cool.
it as well.
I did enjoy it very much so.
Um, I'm I'm not spinning the wheel because it's my birthday next weekend.
So does that mean that you don't want to record next weekend?
No, we can record, but mom's gonna be here. So I want you, I don't care like what kind of
Okay.
topic it is, just something somewhere around where I've lived before
Okay.
and something mom would enjoy.
Well, shit. Somewhere where you've lived before and something mom would enjoy.
Yeah, like a story about that area.
Okay.
It could be ghost,
See what I can
cryptid,
find.
a weird paranormal event, a
Let's see what
local
I can
psychic,
find.
Native
A
American
local.
lore, like anything.
Okay. All right. Well, I will do that. I love that you just came with demands on, you know, your birthday week.
Well, I'm finally a grown up.
You want to tell everybody one of your birthday surprises you got today?
Yeah, they're in the fridge. So I got the Happy Chicks boiled peanuts. They're like the best boiled peanuts, like seriously. So I know what I'm gonna have for dinner,
Yes. Well, I thought you could kind of use it, especially for such a crappy week.
especially as
And
I'm
you get
looking.
to open some of your presents from me on the air because there's some fun ones.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Like to see your face.
I guess we'll just record on my birthday when mom's here.
Yeah, unless you guys decide to do something else, then we'll record after. So whatever you want to do.
I'm taking the whole day off, so
Heck yeah. Woohoo. Well, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. Remember to stay calm. And also remember to stay safe out there, my friends.
stay curious.
Never, ever trust the
The
living.
living.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.